What's up, everybody? Rock Too Easy here from Real Talk Football. We got some week 2 recaps. Oh my goodness, the upsets and upsets. We got high school football recaps. We got college football recaps. We got some crazy games upcoming on all 3 platforms of these games, man. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow the pages on Instagram, Twitter, uh, Facebook, TikTok. We all over the goddamn place. And it's me and my guy KG. Let's go.
What's going on, big guy?
What's the deal, bro? Man, I'm trying to get us. Oh, man, my dang. I'm sorry, I was delayed with it. I was trying to get us on the dang Instagram. It's being all crazy.
Yeah, man, you took about 40 seconds. That joint was on. You ain't saying nothing. I'm like, what's going on, my man?
Because it wasn't trying to. Yeah, this John wasn't trying to let me go live, bro. I'm like, yo, what's good with the good? I don't know what's going on. You know, we learning on the fly these technical difficulties. That's all it really is, though. You know what I mean?
It's all good. What's going on, man? How's your week going on? I mean, it's hump day. How you doing?
Hump day, hump day. Everything good, bro. Everything's good, man. Just trying to let this weekend come. Like I said, because we got a bunch of more games to go over and look upcoming games and games that just passed where it's just crazy where you got NFL games. There's so many upsets, man. You know how many tickets out in bus, man? Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
Man, just wait till playoff season start and we gotta be going online and paying all the money for them Johns and just but we've been seeing some good games. There's been some good games we haven't been to, and there's been games that we've been going to for high school that's been really good. The college is starting to roll. It ain't quite there yet, but it's going. Right. And yeah, I mean, that's why we about to hit this and start talking about it, man. Listen, we about to hit on our first topic, but make sure you like and subscribe to all of our pages. That's YouTube, that's Facebook, that's Instagram, that's TikTok, that's Twitter, all that. Make sure you follow us, like us, and make sure you hit that red button and support. And make sure you go out and support Real Talk Baseball with our boys on there talking fantasy and talking the game about baseball to get in deep with that. Make sure you follow them and make sure you keep a lookout for Real Talk Media with us combining with them two guys over there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into this topic, bro. You ready? Episode 15, baby.
Yes, sir. Let's do this.
Let's get it. So listen, we had a lot of week 2 upsets, a lot of dogs who covered, and we had a lot of favorites who didn't cover. We had 6 favorites who didn't cover, but the upsets we want to talk about, man. What did you see that was an upset this past week, I should say?
Well, first thing, I think the biggest upset is definitely Vikings-Niners. Okay. That Vikings-Niners game. Vikings came out with the win 23-17 over the Niners. Like, you seen what the Niners just did week 1 to the Jets. And like I told you, I was on here live last week. Like, yeah, I thought it was a downfall. But listen, now I'm feeling better because they done lost. They done lost. Yeah. Like, well, first thing, I'm sorry. Hope these guys get back. You mean healthy. You never want to wish injury on no player. But, the guys getting hurt. Debo's out. C-Mac. This might be an all-year thing with C-Mac. So you hold on. You losing these guys, Mr. Ayuk, Mr. Hold Out. Hello. Let's wake up here. So that might be the biggest one. But other than that, you still had big upsets. Not big upsets, but it still was upsets where you got the Bucks and Lions. Bucks came out on top over the Lions 2016. You got the Saints smacking on the Cowboys. Oh my God. Belts the asses off that John, bro. Had us over like, what are we doing?
Right.
And then they say when it rains it pours, I think I saw the rainbow, the sunshine, because that Monday night game came. And the next thing you know, the Eagles lost.
Oh, here you go. Here you go, right? Here you go.
Because man, listen, I don't think you understand, bro. When you a well-known Cowboys fan around here, and then you walk the streets, They come up to you and ask you questions like you're part of the team. Like don't get me wrong. If I invested my time and money into you, I'm a part of the team, but I ain't got the answers they looking for. They talking about so
Right.
what happened to the team? What's up? What happened with
Right.
y'all? I'm like, oh my
Right.
God.
See, that's called karma. They be worried about us, and then they forget they gotta play Monday night, right, or the next day,
Mm-hmm.
whenever it is. But I'm with you, bro. The Vikings Niners was a crazy game. Didn't expect the Vikings to come out strong like that, and they didn't expect them. I don't think anybody expected them to win, or let alone cover, let alone win the game outright.
Right.
But listen, for me with the Niners, you got to take Ayuk into account and Trent Williams. Y'all signed what 4 or 5 days before the first game. Y'all not ready to play football. Y'all wasn't in camp. Y'all wasn't in preseason. None of that. So it's going to take a time for them to be act be back and be ready to play full games and not be out of shape still and have their conditioning up right and all that. So I believe that's going to take some time. Brock Purdy, it's not like Brock Purdy didn't play well. Brock Purdy threw for over 300, but you let Sam Darnold beat your
Mm-hmm.
defense.
Right.
268, 2 touchdowns. He had a pick, 17 of 26. But you let Sam Darnold beat you, who hasn't really won a meaningful game since probably college at this point.
Facts.
Um, but I will say, I will back what I set up last week. My upset pick, I did pick the Bucks over the Lions, and they got that win.
You did.
They looking good. Baker still looking solid. Run game is there. Lions looking a little bit sloppy out of the gates here after week 2. See if they can rebound this week coming up. But also, like you said, but there's one game you didn't mention, even though it may not seem as an upset to some people because it was a division game, was the Cardinals banging that ass to the Rams. They
See,
destroyed.
I hear that, but like, bro, the bodies is dropping on the Rams, man. It's
Right,
bad, bro.
for sure.
It's the
But
only thing for that. But yeah, I
Kyler
get what
Murray
you're
came
saying.
out. Kyler Murray came out and played well. Marvin Harrison, Maserati Marv came out there and ball, got his first 2 touchdowns as a Cardinal, as an NFL player, as a rookie. So even though it's a vision game, it's not really considered an upset when you blow them out like that, and it ain't supposed to go that way. It's supposed
Mhm.
to be a close games. They be having close games. Cardinals and Rams go basically 1-1, 1-1 every season. So that was a good game, and I consider that an upset just the way it went and how lopsided it was. And then we get to our games where Cowboys and Saints, and then Eagles and Falcons. Cowboys did not show up at all. Offense didn't show up. But I blame this whole game on the defensive side of the ball. There was no stopping the run. Everybody was getting pushed 5, 7, 10 yards deep. They didn't even have to pass, and Carr still threw for over 250 yards. AK-47 had 4 total touchdowns against us. Just if you had him on your fantasy team, you better have one because he went crazy. And just I don't think everybody going to the Eagles Falcons game, everybody's blaming the coach for the call, right? I'm gonna
Right.
blame Sirianni, but your OC makes the call too. But you tried to get the ball into your best player's hand at that point. AJ Brown was hurt, but the best player on the field between both teams, Saquon Barkley, he
Mm-hmm.
dropped the ball. He was wide open. It was a
Yep.
good call. So I'm not blaming it on the call, even though you in that position, you do run the ball. Even if you don't get the first down, you still can run the clock down because the Falcons didn't have no timeouts. So if it's 4th and short, you go for it again and you run the clock out, game over. But I
Yep.
don't necessarily disagree with the call because Saquon dropped the ball when he was wide open. It was there. Play call was there. Now for the work, they've been praising Kellen Moore and Sirianni, but since it didn't work, now as they should have ran and blah, 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 blah. Yes, we know that what they should have done, but if the play would have worked, we wouldn't be here today still talking about that. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it was just crazy. But one more thing before you get your opinion, my fault, real quick. Cousins threw for 240 and 2 touchdowns, no picks, and Hurts threw for 183. 1-1. Now we know he's gonna get his rushing yards. Yeah, 85 rushing yards, but where's the passing yards at? We know you ain't have AJ Brown, but you still got all these weapons out here. What's going on?
Facts. Yeah, to pick on to add on to that, I'm not pick on, I'm sorry. To add on to that, Kirk Cousins only got sacked one time. Man got one leg. He's still injured. He cannot move in the pocket. They have no pass rush. That is the problem right there. Even on that last drive where they had 134 left, bro. He no one could, like, he just walked down the field like it was nothing.
Right.
That's a big problem. So
where's Bryce? Where's Bryce Huff? Where's Bryce Huff? No sacks, no pass rush, and you paid him.
I was saying this all year to Eagles fans, and like they I try to be honest, but then when you be honest, it comes off as hate. But it's like, bro, he had 10 sacks last year.
Right.
I said, did you see him get those 10 sacks?
Right.
He had it. Okay. You got all the answers. Nolan Smith. We the genius.
Where's he been?
Josh Sweat. Jordan Davis, he's in better shape this year. How'd that turn out? And then that's the defensive side of it. Now you go to the offensive side. Probably the genius, Jahan Dotson. 1 target, 1 catch, 6 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And then, bro, what? I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what is going on with Dallas Goedert and Hurts, but I swear, I don't know if it's injuries or chemistry or he just fell off or what the case may be, but he's just not being used as much. I'm like, all right, boom, AJ out. All right, go Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert got 4 targets, 3 catches, 38 yards. That's not it, bro. So
he's supposed to be operating the seams in the middle of the field.
Exactly.
He's that big target that he needs. That even if he's not the main target, he's a check down guy. He's gonna be open. He's gonna see the space in the zone coverage and all that. And most of the time, he's gonna win 1-on-1 with a linebacker.
Yep. And then instead, he was going to, I forget the other tight end's name, him and then the special team kid, Covey. Covey had more targets than Dotson.
Right.
But you done gave a 3rd round pick for homeboy, right?
Right.
Get it right, man. Get it right. Now,
one more thing. He's talking about pass rush with the Eagles. Where's Micah Parsons when we need him?
Ah!
I'm over it, bro. He was on that. I was so mad. Me and my homie, remember my boy J Mac, man. I was so mad to see that on Bleacher that he was on that stupid podcast talking about, we just didn't show up to play and blah. Nah, the leader of the defense didn't show up to play either. You ain't even pick your team up. You wasn't a leader. You was quitting out there. You was walking on the field after plays. I turned that joint off before halftime because I saw him walking and he was loafs. You know, coaches count the loafs. I want to know how many loafs he had on the paper after that film because I'm sick of you talking. Then you critiquing the game, bro. Go watch some film on Monday. Stop doing the podcast. What's your priority? Winning football games or doing the podcast?
Yeah. Yeah, he's all over the place. And he was copping please talking about something was a 1 o'clock game. Like, stop all the madness. This is what it is. Right. Our D tackles aren't good enough to stop the run, and it's been the case. And why overshown our young up-and-coming linebacker who we just bragged about, who had 11 tackles week 1, 17 snaps. Like, are you serious right now? Cut the bullshit, man. Right. They doing weird stuff over there, bro. The weirdest stuff. And it makes no sense. And on top of that, too, hold on. Now, so the defensive side, it just was guys ain't getting off blocks and there's no effort there to stop the run, and then you open up for the pass. Now let's go to the offensive side. So you go to offensive side. Dak had 293, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. The one, young boy fell, whatever. The other one, he forced it. Now, last week, we kind of got away with it, but going into the season, we knew we wasn't going to have no goddamn run game. So you know what the grand idea with this was this week? He said, you know what? Let's have multiple running backs go in. Bro, we had 1, 2, 3. We have 4 running. Hold on. No. Yeah, we have 4 running backs in there, dog. We combined 17 carries, 57 yards. We had Rico Dowdle get carries. We had Zeke get carries. We had Deuce Vaughn get carries. And then next thing you know, they brought a guy off the practice squad, number 25, Kevin Garland. I don't know how you started getting carries. How you got out there.
Don't put me out there. I ain't take no L's this weekend. I ain't take no L's. Don't do that.
They brought you out of retirement. They say, look, you get a carry. You get a carry. You get a carry. You get a carry. Like, come on, bro. That was so stupid. It made no sense. Then you had Rico Dowdle running in between the tackles instead of the edge with his speed, and had Zeke his slower ass running on the edge. What sense are y'all making? Come on, man.
Zero.
Come on, man. Miss me with all that, man. Oh man, but
Let's get
yeah,
to
those
the next
upsets was crazy though. Them upsets was crazy. But now that the upsets have taken place, we got some 2-0 teams, man. Now we got to ask yourself, how good are they? How good are these 2-0 guys? You know, we have Saints 2-0. We got the Bills 2-0. We got the Bucks 2-0, and we got the Cardinals 2-0. So now you got the Saints who beat the Panthers and the Cowboys. You got the Bills who's beat Arizona and the Dolphins. You got the Bucks who's beating the Commanders and the Lions. And then you got the I'm sorry, the Cardinals ain't even undefeated. The Steelers.
The Steelers, yep.
Yeah, Steelers. I'm sorry. I don't know why I put Cardinals. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said Cardinals. The Steelers, who they've beaten. Damn. I'm
They
sorry.
beat
I
the
messed up my name.
Broncos. Steelers beat the Broncos and Falcons.
Yeah, Broncos and the Falcons. How good are these teams that are still 2-0 right now? Or who do you believe is legit?
Well, let's name them all. It's the Bills, Steelers, Texans, Chargers, Chiefs, Vikings, Bucks, Saints, and the Seahawks. All right.
Yeah.
I got 3 teams that I believe that's really, really good right now. Like, we not even going to go with the Chiefs right now because we know who they are and who they always going to be there because of 1-5, right? But the 3 teams I have checked off are the Bucks, Chargers, and the Bills. Okay. I think these 3 teams right now look really good because of the way they've been playing. Now, I say that because a lot of people was questioning our power rankings, these last 3 days. And like I said at the beginning, like our man Stephen A. say, list is fluid. It's fluid. But I also look at the teams holistically, not necessarily who they play. Now, the Bills, who's on my top 3 teams, that's 2-0, that I think that's going to be really good, and still make the playoffs. Not necessarily make the playoff run in these 3 teams, but Bills played the Cardinals first. They was down 17-0, and they went on a 34-11 run and beat them and came back, played dominant. Josh Allen woke up and they ended up winning 34-38 in that first week game. And then Thursday night, they came around, beat the brakes off the Dolphins 31-10, right? Dominance. They showed dominance, right? Now, the Chargers, they ain't necessarily play anybody really, really good. They played the Panthers and they played the Raiders. Yes, the Raiders are a division team, but the way they won the game, both games, dominating on defense and dominating in the run game. That's all. I don't care who they played. It's about how that team played to get to 2-0. For me, in my opinion, how they got there is just dominating both sides of the ball. And then the Bucks, the same way. Yes, they played Washington that first game, but they struggled in the first half. They came back out in the second half. Baker threw 4 touchdowns that game, 2 to Evans and 1 to Godwin. And then they went into Ford Field and beat the Lions at home, which has been tough for a while now since they've been rolling. Even when they was 9-8, it's hard to beat them in that building. They won on the road, man. So it's the way they're dominating and playing the football game. And now I know everybody's going to talk about the Steelers and the way their defense is. Their defense is always going to do that, but they can't score a freaking touchdown on offense. So that's why the Steelers is low, and that's why the Seahawks ain't on my power rankings, because the Seahawks played the Broncos and the Pats and they barely won. So I don't really care that they're 2-0. They're not playing good football regardless of them being 2-0. And if anybody thinks that the Seahawks are a playoff team at this point, it's crazy. So that's why they ain't on my list. So go ahead, bro.
Yeah, they was on your list heavy.
Right. They was trying to kill me. I answered some of them. I had to let them. I had to let some of them.
They was cooking your shit.
They was cooking. I had to look at a couple. I had to look at a couple of the people's profile. Like, oh, this young boy is 18. Ain't nobody responding to an 18-year-old. I'm good.
You gotta let them be great, bro. Let them be great. Yeah, I totally agree with you. But I think I also want to add into the Saints. Only reason why I have no problem adding to the Saints is because they have one of the best offensive lines in the game. So as long as you got that with Kamara, who's a threat at that run game, and he knows how to pay his pace of playing the run and being able to catch that ball, then you have a deep threat in Shaheed.
Yeah,
He has the most deep balls in the league right now since last year.
he's
So
been balling.
like that,
He's been balling.
yeah. So you got that all set up. That they're going to mess around and win the division between them and the Bucks. It's going to be a dogfight.
I can't
So
wait to see that game.
yeah, I definitely, like I said, I want to add the Saints to that. But yeah, I totally agree with all the other teams you said though.
Solid.
Mm-hmm.
Solid. All right. We hitting on that. We moving on. Or are you good? You don't want to talk about any of the
Yes,
other
sir.
ones? How you want to talk
Nope,
about?
it's
Okay.
all good.
Cool. All right. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into breaking news that we saw on Monday. And Bryce Young being benched, a number 1 overall pick 2 years ago in the draft by the Panthers. All right. What are your thoughts on this benching? And do you think that Bryce Young deserved to be benched this early in his career? Just he played all last year, he started, and then he only played the first 2 games, and he's benched the 3rd week of his second season. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, first thing outside of Bryce Young, the Panthers are a shit show, and they've been a shit show before he even came there. And like,
Mm-hmm.
let's just be honest with what it is, and that's not even just personnel; it's the office too. It's a mess. They need to
Mm-hmm.
they need to regroup, retool, and get everything together because you drafted this kid to set him up for failure, and that's just really what you did. You tore him up, and not even just that, like mentally and physically,
Mm-hmm.
because he doesn't have the stature. He's 5'10", 240, bro. And last year,
5'10",
2,800.
240. 5'10", 240. No, he ain't 240.
Bro, that's what I looked up and found. He said the boy was 240.
Who's 240? Bryce Young?
Yeah, that's what I found. Listen.
You looking at Chase Young? Because Bryce Young is about
My
190
bad.
pounds.
My bad.
Bryce Young is 195 pounds. That man is not 240. What is wrong with you?
Yo, my notes.
I'm about to say, who this man looking at? 240. Is Cam Newton out there with Bryce Young's face on? What's going on?
If he did it, that's would have been benched. He would have been able to run some more. but but last year he got sacked 62 times, man. Mm-hmm. This year he already was sacked 6 times. So they have no offensive line. His only help of a threat last year was going into this year was what's his name from the Vikings?
Adam Thielen.
Thielen. So you have no weapons around him. You have no run game around him. The defense, you traded away your best pass rusher, your best defensive guy. It's just a mess. They just need to pack it up already. And it's unfortunate. And when I say it's a mess before he got there, 2022, you had Matt Rule. You fired him. You bring in Steve Wilkes. Steve Wilkes finishes the season well for the team. Everybody on the team wanted to keep him, but you know what you do? You let the homeboy walk. You bring in Frank Wright at 2023. He gets fired in the middle of the season. You let Chris Tabor take over. He didn't do nothing, so they let him walk. And now you have Dave Canal. Like, it's just a mess. Nothing makes sense and nothing adds up. Trade the kid away, and start all over, and fire everybody in that office. That's what I got to say.
Before I say my boy Ryan, who we had on during the draft, sent our fantasy league chat a trade. Let me ask you what you think about this.
Oh, okay.
The Miami Dolphins get Matthew Stafford. Bryce Young gets traded to the Rams, and the Panthers get a 2025 second round pick from Miami and a 2025 third pick from the Rams. All around, they still keep the kick. They keep their first round. The Panthers get to keep their first round pick. What do you think about that trade? Especially with Tua being out.
That all sounds good, but Miami ain't got no money to be able to afford both of them. So what you gonna
Mm.
do with Tua? You gotta
I
send
think
Tua.
I think two are going to be off. I think the reason for that trade proposal would be because he would be choosing retirement. He'd be off the books.
Yeah, if you can get him off the books, or you can trade him to a team that needs a quarterback, don't trade him to the Panthers. It'll only be worse for him.
Yeah, no, they're trade. The Rams would trade him to trade Stafford to Miami, and Bryce Young would go to the Rams, which I think Bryce will be a good
Oh,
fit for
100%.
Sean
Yeah,
McVay. Sean McVay
that
knows how to coach the quarterbacks up, and I think that offense would be very, very good for him.
he'll be able to reinvent himself because once he's able to sit in the pocket and go through his progressions without feeling as much pressure as he was feeling on the Panthers, you can throw
Hmm.
the ball. That's not the question. The question is him being able to survive because
Right,
he ain't got nothing. You
right,
have nothing.
right.
So yeah, I like the
Okay,
trade, but
I like it too.
all chips got to fall together.
Yeah, but back to Bryce. Like you said, I do agree with you that the Panthers did fail him miserably. They didn't even draft an offensive lineman in this draft after he got basically murdered in the pocket last year, like you said, 62 sacks, running for his life, dang near every single play and every week last year. I don't even know how he was still standing by the end of the season. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then this year, the same thing. He's still getting hit, getting sacked. The organization with that new owner has been a crapshoot since the very beginning. And then you got people like Stephen A. calling Bryce Young the biggest bust since Jamarcus Russell. Now, I
Stephen A. Shut it.
I I totally disagree with that because of what the organization has done for Bryce Young. It was just set him up for failure. He was as soon as he got there, he had no weapons, whether it was tight end or wide receivers or a running back. So Stephen A, I totally disagree with you, even though you're not even going to hear this clip, but totally disagree with you on that, man. I don't think he's the biggest bust since Jamarcus Russell. And like we discussed the other day about Alabama quarterbacks. Name me one Alabama quarterback that has had success in the NFL since Saban has been there. I know Saban's not there this year, but Saban has not produced a winning quarterback in the NFL. Period. Not
Hurts.
not one. Hurts don't even claim Alabama. They don't even claim him.
That's why I did that.
Right. So I don't want to hear about all this. Every Alabama quarterback has had the craziest wide receiver room, the craziest running back rooms, and then you had a huge offensive line, and then that defense was that defense. Everything you were set up for success. Everybody was open for you, whether it's freaking Julio Jones to Devontae Smith, who won the Heisman. So no Alabama quarterback has been good in the NFL. I would never draft an Alabama quarterback ever, not even for a backup role. No, thank you. I'm good. So other than that, I don't think this is Bryce Young's fault. I do think Bryce Young will be back, but if I'm Bryce Young, trade me because I'm not coming back out there. It's just I don't know any number one pick that's got benched in the second year at the third week.
Right.
This is
Yeah.
this is unprecedented.
This is
So I
shit
don't,
show.
so I'm praying for Bryce to get in the right situation so he can showcase his talents in the right way. The kid is talented. I don't think is he like I said in the draft. I don't think he's as talented as CJ Stroud, but he is talented. I think he just needs the right coach in the right situation and people around him to build.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I hope he's able to get out of that mess that he's in. I don't wish that on no
Mhm.
player at all.
No, sir.
Yes, sir. But now we on to high school games, baby. Mm-hmm. Uh Big Friday game that I went to this past weekend, Malvern Prep versus Roman Catholic. Hard fought, tough game. Catholic came out on top 21-17 over there. Samaj Bills had 24 for 42, 262, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. The running back, Xavier Kincaid, 24 carries, 97 yards. Rashawn Scott had 2 touchdowns. Number 6, I like the kid. But I like the kid a lot. Ian Stead. This kid, 4 catches, 90 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 tackles, and 2 tackles for loss. This kid was doing everything, bro.
Mm.
Yeah, kid was doing everything. He was playing everywhere. I know damn well. Like I said, we say when the week starts out, the new season start out, you cramping up, you tired. I know that kid probably took an ice bath. I'm telling you that much. That dude was doing it
For
all.
sure.
Hall fought, Hall fought tough game. Malvern Prep. I like. I think I already told you how it is for Roman. They have a really good passing game. The running back is serviceable. He's really good and reliable. He runs the ball well. But for Malvern Prep, they have a lot of talent, but I don't think they have this identity right of what they want to do offensively. Because you got a quarterback in there in Jackson McClellan who can throw the ball. He's not that great of a runner, but then you barely have him in there to throw the ball. You got a running back in there, Chris Smith. I like the kid, but I think if you start Zeke Bates, because they both had 11 carries for 40 yards, but Zeke Bates ran the ball harder. When he was in there, guys
Right.
didn't want to tackle him. They got to the 5-yard line, lined up a shotgun, and then fumbled the snap, and then lost it.
Right.
That's a touchdown right there. And then the second time they got to that goal line, next thing you know, you put a big power back in, and then you punch it in. I think they need to find an identity because when McClellan's not in, you got this kid, Andrew Palacio. I don't know how to say his name right.
Right.
I sent you videos, young boy running with the rock, bro.
Yeah. He was running.
8 carries, 102 yards.
Yeah.
And he was breaking tackles, spinning off everything.
He was getting busy.
Exactly. Young boy was getting busy. So you need to figure out what you're going to do with your offense because you have no real answer. Honestly, if you want to start Andrew, that's fine. But once you get that 3rd and long, see, that's my problem. You get 3rd and long. All right, Jackson, get in and throw the ball. It's like, nah, bro. You got to try to figure this rhythm out. If you're going to start Jackson, you start Jackson. I like Zeke being the starting running back there, like I said, because he's more of a power back. He's a strong back, and he got speed with him too. So that's all I got for that game. Real tough game. They'll probably end up both those teams top in PA. They're going to end up in the playoffs.
For sure.
So,
yeah.
And things will turn around from there. Second game, I was at, you watched East St. Louis over MOTEP, 35-14. Yeah. Close game. It started out close.
It's a back and forth type of game. Yep.
Yeah. And then we had a break going towards halftime. We really hope the kid Brian Graves Jr. gets better. Definitely he was in there starting lineman. I think he was the starting guard.
He was definitely a concussion. He was down on the field it was a break in the game for at least a half hour, and the ambulance came out there. So we wish him well wishes as well.
Definitely. Yeah, like I said, it was close game started out, and then it just pulled away. I think MOTEP just didn't capitalize off the turnovers that they had. They made the kid throw 2 interceptions and still did nothing with it. So hopefully these guys are able to pull it together. Everything else is in conference, so they'll be able to walk through that, and then playoffs come, and then they'll be able to see where they go at from there.
Yeah.
What you think of that game?
Watching that game, it was a little bit like the Chester game too, when it was back and forth, and Chester had the lead at halftime, but it's the offense starting a little slow. Just give Jabri the ball and let him cook to open up the pass, and then Joey can get back to where he was in those first couple games, just lighten it up back there. But I also think MOTEP has a lot of young DBs. They got a lot of young corners and safeties. They playing real far off, not reading, reacting fast enough. You know what I mean? Giving up there's been a lot of big plays going on, a lot of big runs, and a lot of big throwing, passing plays too. A lot of undisciplined. The guys not playing in their gaps and their run lane. So I know Coach Dev and the MOTEP staff gonna coach them up and get them right, and they probably will go on a run, but they have another bad game. They could slip up here, and they could have another loss. So hopefully they'll get right and be ready, obviously, for the District 12 playoff run for 6A, and then hopefully they can win that and get into the 6A playoff, because I know that's what all of us want to see. We want everybody getting that 6A playoffs and really see how they line up against people in 6A now. They with the big boys, you know what I mean? So we all know they can play with them. It's just how well they gel together by the end of the season.
Yeah, they're a young team too, so they still got another year. Even with the quarterback Joe, he's still young. He's still got
He's on
what,
his
another
sophomore.
year, right?
He
Yeah,
got
he's still
years.
got 2 more years. And while we're speaking on this game, like I don't want to take no credit away from East St. Louis. Those kids, they came to play.
Yeah.
I like the kid number 3, Chris Bennett. He had uh 9 touches, 87 yards, and a touchdown. He was getting busy. But when I told you last week watching the film, I said this kid is fast, he's elusive, and that's exactly what he was doing. Smaller guy, hard to tackle, hard to take down. Where you think you about to just pop him, he works out.
Yeah.
Let's put it like that. So yeah,
Their running backs played really well. So they hit the
yeah.
hole when they had to, got outside when they had to, in between the tackles when they had to. So they was reading
Mhm.
those holes really well. And they came to play. They came up here and I mean they showed they was the number 1 team in their state, or number 3 team in their state, man. So
Yep. Another thing is the commentator at the game, fix your mic for next game. Fix your mic for next game, bro. He said,
he
no,
got
the
it.
32 $40.
He
He
got it
kept
chill,
going.
man. No chill
He,
whatsoever.
he kept going. Oh my gosh. You got any high school games that you upcoming that you look forward to this week?
Well, hold on, we still recapping real quick, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
recap what we talked about last week. I brought up the North Penn versus Neshaminy game. They both was undefeated. North Penn smoked them 37-7. CB South versus CB East, just a crosstown rivalry. Say South won 34-15 to remain undefeated. And then I know you've been talking about your alma mater. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna get my alma mater in here because even though they are 2-2, they fell early 14-0 to Upper Darby and went on
Mm-hmm.
a 35-0 run to win
Mm.
to win the game 35-20. And my guy, he's a senior. He's a great player, great kid. I've known him since the 4th grade. Luke Foley stepped up. He's back from injury from beginning of the season. Missed the first couple games. He scored 3 touchdowns on a couple long runs. And then my young guy who is a jumper for me in track, Ty Teasley, he did his thing after my other guy went down. Mikey Klaus went down with a back injury. He stepped up on offense. Ty Teasley had a couple good runs, and then on defense had a pick sick. I'm out there. So HH ball this week is on a 2-game win streak. Hopefully they trying to get to that 3-game win streak this week versus Academy Park. So good luck to them this week because they played well last week. I want them to keep the ball rolling. So my guys, my Hatters, good luck this week, man.
Okay, Hatters. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Another thing we want to go over. Definitely sending prayers out to Matt Zolers, man. Broke his ankle.
Yeah.
Springfield quarterback. He's on his. He committed to Missouri. Kid is an athlete. Kid is a good player. Like I said, I saw him against Downtown East. It sucks to see that happen to him. Definitely recover fast, man, and just get ready for that next step up in Missouri.
Yes, sir. He'll be ready. Yes, sir.
Yep.
2 more games. It's the Eagles high school game of the week. There's going to be some players, cheerleaders coming up to the CB South, CB West game. This became a big game last year. West blew them out in the regular season, and then South got them back in the second round of the playoffs, I believe, and blew them out at West. So now West is going to South this week. West is 3-1. South is 4-0. And then another game between 2 4-0 teams, Garnet Valley and Strathaven, play this week. So if anybody's out there, get to that game. It should be a good game. Number 1 versus number 3 in 5A ball this weekend.
Okay. My upcoming games, I got Friday night, I'm going to Wilson versus Cedar Crest. Both 2 3-1 teams. Last year, Cedar Crest apparently won a close game against Wilson, so this is looking like a revenge game. Players I'm on the lookout for Cedar Crest: Isaiah Zimmerman, running back, like the kid. It looks pretty elusive and fast, quick on his feet. On Wilson, Corell Atkins, I'm sorry, Monty Greer, Maddox Gruber, and Jaden Carpenter. I'm gonna be on the lookout for all those kids over there, the running backs, quarterback, and wide receiver. I think Wilson might end up getting this win this week. They look a little bit
Mhm.
better than they were last year. I went to their week 1 game against Roman. They got smoked by Roman week 1
Mhm.
last year, and then they pulled it together. And so definitely
Wilson's
looking forward to
Wilson's
that
got
game.
some good. They have some good football. They got a good football program. They got a good track program. They got some good sports teams over there.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm definitely looking forward to that game. Second game I'm going to Saturday afternoon. PJP Pope John Paul 3-1 versus Phoenixville 3-0. So this is going to be a
Yeah,
big close game. I'm sure it's
yeah.
going to be live too. Hopefully the weather's good. But players I'm on the lookout for Deacon Williams. Uh, Last year 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah. Running back, young boy,
mm.
nice. This year he already got 509 yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 catches, 112 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Young boy
Sheesh,
gets
all
busy.
the
Yeah,
yards. Get busy out
yeah,
there, young boy.
for sure. And PJP, the quarterback, he's already committed to Villanova. Braden Reed. Last year he had 1,000 yards, 14 touchdowns. This year he's already got 500 yards, 4 touchdowns. Um, Number 9, who I've seen, Luke Treleski. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right,
Hmm.
but wide receiver. I like this kid. Yak, straight yak, bro. He's getting the
Hmm.
ball and he's getting upfield. Last year he had 1,900 yards, 23. Oh, I'm sorry, I got it mixed up. Why I keep messing my stuff up? I'm tripping. God damn it. But yeah, it's the wide receiver who's
Hmm.
really good on there for PJP.
Hmm.
I'm not sure where he committed to. I don't know if he had a commitment yet though. But I'm really looking forward to both those games this weekend. And
Cool.
yeah. Definitely looking forward to those high school games, man. Uh, Now we on to college.
Yes, sir. All right, we on to
Yeah,
college. Um, kind of disappointing weekend of college football. It's not kicking
yeah.
off
It ain't
like
picking
we
up yet.
like we was thought it was going to, and we got a new number one who is well deserved to be number one, which is Texas, especially
Uh,
after the old number one who dropped to number two laid an egg, even though they won, laid an egg against UGA. It was UGA versus Kentucky. They won
mhm.
13-12. Now, before we get into this, there was big talks about Georgia's quarterback all off season after the way he played okay and half the season last year. Carson Beck. If I hear one more word about Carson Beck being a top 5, top 10 pick, stop it, because he's not. He didn't play that well last year. He played okay, and then you have this performance against Kentucky, 13-12, a team you are supposed to just obliterate. Yes, they both coach Stoops and coach Kirby Smart know each other. They coach with coach Saban. They're under his
Umbrella.
coaching tree, under his coaching tree. But 13-12, and Carson Beck. This is how you play. 15 of 24, 160, no touchdowns.
Yeah.
You ain't get no interception, you ain't get sacks, but that's how you come out and play.
We
13.
we've been talked about him. Definitely been
So
talked about.
we've been talking about him since the summer. I don't like him. Didn't like him then. Still don't like him. He's not a top 10 pick to me. He's not a starting quarterback in the NFL if he even leaves this year. But the top couple teams you got Texas, UGA, Ohio State, Bama, Ole Miss to round out the top 5, Penn State at the bottom of there to round out the top 10. Um, but I think it's some teams that's going to make some noise. I think some of them play against each other in a couple of weeks. And it's that one of those October weekends, that second week of October, where I don't think no man in the nation is going to be leaving the house from these.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, what you think about these games that were played this past weekend and the games that's coming up?
Well, Georgia definitely was upsetting as they played. I don't know, they couldn't even get the run game going with ETN either, so he wasn't
Mhm.
even really getting involved. Another game who was really good, LSU for South Carolina. South Carolina had no business losing this goddamn game, up 17-0.
Mhm.
Granted, it was a second quarter, but you're up 17-0, you have the run game that you had. Raheem Sanders, 19 carries, 143 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The quarterback, Sellers, he
Mhm.
had 10 carries for 2 yards and 2 touchdowns. He
Yeah.
threw the ball 16 times.
Yeah.
I would have threw the ball 10 times. I just would have kept running the ball.
Right.
You weren't stopping the run. I'm milking it. I'm up 17-0. And you let these dudes come back and beat you. So it was a really good game. It I don't think I think I took the over on that and didn't cover that either. So I'm a little pissed off about that also. So
You
yeah.
better relax. You
That's
better relax.
listen,
Couple
man.
of them overs. Couple of them overs that hit
Listen,
the past 2 weeks for you. You better relax.
listen, I have a FanDuel budget, okay? Once I hit my budget, you know where I'm at right now? I got $2.50 left, and that's for the Thursday night game before I retool on Friday. Before I retool on Friday.
Ain't reading up nothing.
Listen, I'll put myself on a budget, you know what I mean? From there, that's what I got. I got 250. But upcoming games, we got Tennessee against Oklahoma. I think that's going to be a shootout. But Tennessee's still going to win that game. USC, Michigan. We already know how we feel about them. USC will get the job done. Utah and Oklahoma State. I think that's going to be kind of a low scoring because Utah's defense is always good. So, but I
Mhm.
think
Both
Utah
both
still covered.
defenses, both defenses really good. I think
Yeah,
I think that game is the game to watch this week. I think the Tennessee game is Tennessee versus Oklahoma going to be a high scoring affair, but that
mm,
Utah Oak State game,
yeah,
uh, both like to run the rock, play defense. I think Anderson Oak State is going to be loud. I like that game. That's the one I want to watch if I'm home.
definitely.
I got a lot to do this weekend. You know what I mean? So I think that's going to be the game to watch. USC Michigan. I think being that USC is only 5.5 point favorites, I think it's going to be closer than people think. Only because yes, I
Is it
know
at Michigan?
it's at Michigan. Yeah, it's at Michigan.
Okay,
They still play defense, even though that offense is not up to par. But I think it's going to be between those two USC quarterback, how he reads the defense, how the run game is going throughout the game. It could be closer than we think.
definitely. Well, I'm gonna try to find some time for that too. Like I said,
For
I'll be
sure.
running around. We got that PJP game. I might go down to Utah State versus Temple. Granted, I know Temple gonna get smacked, but young boy Rasul from Pottstown, well, he went to Potts Grove, starting running back for Utah State. So he'll be in town. So I hope people from town can definitely get down to Temple. Go show
Yeah,
love to the
go
kid,
show
man.
some love. Go show love.
Definitely
Yes,
show love to
yes.
the kid. One of the best running backs that came out of that school, man. Young boy's tough, bro. Super
Right.
tough. So yeah, definitely try to make it down there because that game's at 2. So if I get down, it'll be late after the PJP game.
For sure.
So we'll see. Yes, sir. But you ready for week 3?
Yes, sir.
Finish it
Move
up
on.
with week.
Yes, sir.
Mm. So we got some. We how many teams was undefeated this week? 2-0s. How many 2-0s
Uh,
we got this week? How many
One,
teams?
two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. 9 teams.
9. Okay, well, Chargers versus Steelers. That's 1.
Mm-hmm.
Texans and Vikings. That's 2. Now, this is a battle of the one and ones, but I like it a lot. Lions and Cardinals. That game's going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Chargers beating the Steelers. The Steelers, you can't score. That's just what it is. The Chargers, at least they have a quarterback that can score. I
Right.
got the Texans over the Vikings. That defense, Texans defense is really good.
Mm-hmm.
CJ Stroud, he's good. Yo, Nixon's been running that ball well too for the Texans.
But
Also, I
Mixon,
think he
Mixon is out. Mixon is
what?
out.
Oh yeah, he
Mixon
did
is
get
out.
hurt.
It
He
almost
did.
looked. He looked like he broke his ankle because of the hip drop tackle, but I think it's just a high ankle
Yeah.
sprain, so he's gonna be out for a couple weeks.
Did they take an account of that yet
Say it
for that hip
again.
drop? The hip drop. Are they
Uh,
doing anything about that yet?
I
I know
didn't
they was
see
talking
any.
about it.
reports that that player was fined or anything because Joe Mixon did call him out the next day about it. He did tweet about it.
Yeah, that's dirty work, bro. Definitely
Yeah.
dirty work. And I think the Lions is going to bounce back and beating the Cardinals. The Lions, they lost that game, but
Mhm.
they were doing a lot of dumb stuff. Getting down to the red zone, Dan Campbell just that might be the downfall of them again this year in the playoffs, bro. They
Mhm.
got it, but he does stuff to mess them up, bro.
Right.
So
Right.
I still think they end up beating the Cardinals. But those are my three games. I ain't taking my upset game yet, though. I ain't taking my
All
upset
right.
game.
All right. Okay.
What games?
We'll get to that. But I got the same games you got though. I do got the Chargers and Steelers, and I got the Lions and Cardinals. Good game to watch too. The reason why I picked the Chargers and the Steelers because I believe it's strength against strength.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers been running the ball really well. Steelers know how to stop the run and they're a great defense every year under Tomlin and have been for over a decade. And somebody's got to block TJ Watt. I think regardless of how the Steelers have not been scoring, I think if the Steelers turn over Justin Herbert in the pass game, I think they're gonna get some touchdowns, not just by the defense. I think the Steelers can score with the short field, whether it's the run game, uh, um, Justin Fields running the ball in, or even the passing, hitting maybe Fairmouth, and over the middle tight end touchdown. But I think the offense gets a touchdown this week, and I think it's going to be a little close. I do got the Chargers too because of the same reason as you. They know how to score, but I think if that run game ain't working, Justin Herbert, you got to step up now. Johnston, you got to step up now. Palmer, you got to step up now. Those wide receivers, you got to get open against that tough defense. Yeah, the Lions and Cardinals should be a good game. It's in Arizona, but yeah, I think that game is gonna be well. Those are only two games I got. I think that enticed me to want to watch this weekend.
Right. So before we get to the upsets,
Mm-hmm.
who you got? Eagles and Saints?
Who do I have in that game?
Yeah. Who you got?
Since they have no pass rush, I'm picking the Saints to win that game.
Okay.
They
Cowboys, Ravens.
Cowboys, Ravens. We can't stop the run. They'll probably give a heavy dose of Derrick Henry. Probably give a heavy dose of Derrick Henry, considering the fact that the most touches he's had in the game is 14, and they signed Derrick Henry to take the burden off of Lamar, and they haven't done it. I think we see a heavy dose of Henry this week and Lamar, and
Right.
Ravens probably beat us by I would say 10 points.
I think we lose a close game. Only because while the Saints did run the ball over us once again, they still have one of the best O lines in the league. Ravens got three new offensive linemen, and they've been struggling too. So I think it'll be a closer game, but I think we'll still probably mess around and end up losing that joint now for sure.
Not if Overshown ain't on the field.
Bro. 17 snaps, bro. Come on,
After
man.
he led the team in tackles
And
with
tackle.
11 in week one, you only play him 17 snaps. It makes no sense. Mike Zimmer, make up what you want to do. And then you had the other linebacker out there that had no business being out there. That looks
Rookie?
what's his name? Tiafu or something like that.
Yeah.
Why is he out there? I don't understand. So
No sense at all. No damn sense at all. It's a goddamn mess.
So I went first last week. What's your upset? Actually, you went first last week because I asked you and you said yours because you said you already talked about it.
All right,
Now,
yeah.
I'm gonna go because I won last week, my upset pick, so I'm gonna know.
Yo, man, my total almost hit, bro. Patriots went to OT. I'm sick, bro.
Almost ain't good enough. You gotta win it. So I'm going with the Cardinals this week against the Lions. They are a +3 dog this week at home.
It's hard to beat and win in Arizona. You ain't lying.
And the way Kyler Murray played last week and the way he has been playing, even though he had a little hiccup against the Bills after they had the lead, he still played well in that game. Now, bounce back from this week. They freaking smashed Who did they beat? I'm tripping. I'm tripping.
Rams.
Oh, they beat the Rams. They smashed the Rams, right? I think they go back home. They stay home, and they just beat and outright beat the Lions this week. The reason why I'm picking the Cardinals because the Lions have played sloppy the first two games. They might be 1-1, but they have played sloppy. And then to put on top of that, Amon-Ra St. Brown is hurt too. So what you gonna do?
True. All right.
Jared Goff, you gotta step up. Who is your pick? Let's see if you get this one right.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
I'm taking the Jaguars, goddammit. Let's go. Jaguars over the Bills. Let's go. Listen, I don't care what you say. I'm going to die on this hill with my guys. I don't care. Listen, Jags can stop the run. You stop the Bills in the run, they have no receiving threats. I'm taking the Jaguars.
Bro, they gotta account for Josh Allen.
That's fine. And Josh Allen gonna see Josh Allen.
Bro,
how you like that?
They just lost to the Browns.
Don't care.
He has no talent. They have no talent.
Don't care. Upset.
You 0-2. You out here. You 0-2. Get out of here.
Upset. And listen, you go, ooh, let's go. But hold on. Take. If the Jaguars lose this game, Doug Peterson's out of here, bro. He's gone.
He's not out of here.
Gone. I'm telling you.
Mid-season? Third game of the season, you think they're going to fire him?
Bro, listen, he's been doing, like, granted, have they messed up their own things for, like, drops and stupid stuff like that? Yes. But week 1, he went for it on their own 30 and it called the dumbest play ever, and then they got stopped. Like, he's aggressively stupid. His offensive, I'm serious, and his offensive scheme is ass, bro. It's just not it. He's not developing Trevor Wright or nothing. Like, I'm not feeling him there. He's gonna go. He's gonna go 0-3. You're out of here, bro. They put too much talent on that team. Now, granted, they starting cornerback there. You said what?
They're gonna be 0-3.
Yeah, well, listen, he gone. Mark my words, he's gonna be gone.
And just remember when they go 0-2, when teams go 0-2, they're less likely to make the playoffs. It's like a 20-something.
It's a long week, man.
They go 0-3, and you picked the Jags to make the playoffs. Remember that.
I did.
Yeah,
because they're gonna fire that bum ass dude.
I think he was drunk that day.
Nah, was it the Henny? Might have been. Oh man, let's get up out of here now, bro. Let's get up out of here.
Oh man.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll be back at it next week. We'll be going over all these games that we're looking forward to seeing this week. Hey, Coach D, make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow all the pages. Thank you for all the support, and thank you for killing KG on his power rankings.
Hey, yo, super crazy, right? They ain't even come at you or your jaws, but everybody was using my jaws. His jaws damn near the same as mine, except for those five. Like, golly. We gonna see after this week though what happened though. But like you said, holla, thank for y'all joining us again on live. We will see y'all next week. Stay tuned for our postings and everything this in a couple days, and our upset picks again setting up on Friday morning and all that. We love y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
Wait, but hold on. Who you got for Thursday night?
Thursday night, who playing?
Jets.
Jets in the New England. I got Jets. I got the Jets.
All right, bet. Jets. All right, that's a bet though. All right, bro.
We are.